How to make a spooky sky value painting. Step 1. You're going to write your name and your teacher's name on the back of your paper. Flip it over. Now you're going to draw or trace a circle for the moon in the upper right-hand corner. I made my moon using yellow and orange. So I painted my moon all the way in with yellow first. Then I took a tiny bit of orange and I added some fluffy marks to give my moon some definition. This is what makes it look three-dimensional. And it works the best if you have a little bit of a dry brush and you sort of tap it in. So the technique that I'm using is kind of like lightly tapping my orange paint into my moon. Then I sort of outlined it a little bit with a tiny bit of orange. And then I went back in with my brush and used yellow to add a little bit of a highlight. Great job. Now we're going to add white, blue, and black to make our whole value painting. So the first thing you're going to do is going to add a teeny bit of blue or purple, if you're using purple, to your white. This is called a tint. So you're going to start from your lightest color, paint a circle around the moon with your lightest value. Great. Now you're going to mix a value slightly darker by adding more blue or purple and paint another circle around your first circle. So notice that my painting is getting a little bit darker because I've added a teeny bit of blue. Continue adding a tiny bit of blue to make a slightly darker circle. To make a shade, which is a darker color, we are going to add black to our blue. So I added a tiny bit of black to make a shade. So just like when you wear sunglasses, it makes things darker, we are adding a shade. Then you're going to mix a little bit more black until you go all the way to black, and you're going to fill up the whole thing. Alright, our painting is nice and dry, but mine got a little warped. So what I did is I took 4 pieces of tape and I taped my paper to the table. So if you need to tape your paper to the table, you're going to do that, go ahead and do that right now. And the tape is going to be on my desk. Great. Now you're going to make any adjustments to the background or the sky first. So I wanted to add a little bit more blue in some of my darker areas. If you also wanted to fix any parts of your moon or the white areas around your moon or the lighter areas, now would be the time to go ahead and do that. Now using a very, very skinny, thin brush, you're going to paint skinny lines to make our tree. Now remember, the tree trunk gets thicker as it goes to the bottom and it gets thinner as it goes out to the ends. Your tree can look whatever kind of tree you'd like. You can have your tree look that way. Now you're going to start adding lots of details. I wanted to paint a black cat, but maybe you'd like to make an owl or a similar scary creature sitting on the tree. No spooky painting is complete without some bats, which are just like little V's. Next, I highlighted my tree with orange. You could also use yellow because it's kind of like the moon is illuminating our tree. So the highlight would be on one side and then the dark skinny part of your tree would be on the other. Made a rickety fence using blue and black, and then I painted tiny yellow circles for eyes, so it looks like there are some creatures hanging out in the darkness. And you want to paint some variety, so some of my eyes are very big and some of them are very small, so it looks like they're receding into the back. And you'll want to add 2 tiny little dots for pupils. And last but not least, don't forget to sign it. And as always, paintings go on the drying rack.